Richician.
Hey YouTube, Richician84 here, and welcome to Q&A number 90! Oh yes, we're just 10 episodes away from 100 now. Let's kick this off. So the first 3 questions are from Gungner, who says he hopes he's first again. And yes, you are, my friend. 1. Do you think the storyline of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is better in anime or manga? Referring to Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! GX and Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. I don't really know for sure because the thing is, I never read the manga. Well, I read one Yu-Gi-Oh! GX manga, the one that gave us The Shining. Um, but I think I know. No, I do know what the storyline is. Um, I don't know. Hard to say really. I mean, I guess the manga one is better, but I liked the anime one more just because I watched all of the GX anime, um, and I'm very fond of that one, and I just like the anime heroes more than the manga ones. Um, and of course, like I said, I've never read the original series and 5D's mangas. Um, so I can't really say for sure. 2. Is there a Yu-Gi-Oh! Villain that you didn't like at all? Um, can't really think of any really. I guess the closest thing would be Weevil, because like he was an absolute arsehole. um, like even though he wasn't like a main antagonist, he was still an antagonist at the end of the day, and I just hate him. Cocky, he's a cheater, and just has absolutely no honour at all. Um, and I'm glad that he got his ass handed to him by Siegfried, Joey, and Yugi slash Atem twice. 3. I saw some Dark Magician and Buster Blader hybrid builds. Do you want to try them out together as well? Um, well, as much as I like Buster Blader and Dark Paladin, I think I'd prefer to stick with pure Dark Magician myself. Um, although Buster Blader might turn up again in another version of Dark Magician. I'm working on Dark Magician Legacy mode, where I'd like to play cards from previous incarnations of my deck. Haven't figured anything out yet, but yeah, that'll be the closest thing. Next 2 questions are from Matt and Alison Welch. 1. As I mentioned in the Dark Magician deck profile video, the Eye of Timaeus could be better than Secrets of Dark Magic if it was searchable. Absolutely. But do you think we may need a better fusion spell for Dark Magician if Timaeus never gets in a rod? Here's an example. Dark Magic Fusion. Send from your hand to the graveyard fusion materials that are listed on a fusion monster in your extra deck that lists Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl. Then fusion summon it. Once per turn, if the selected card is targeted for an attack by your opponent's card effect, you can banish this card from a graveyard, negate the effect or attack, and destroy that card. If this card was banished due to this effect, you can select one spell from your graveyard and either add it to your hand or set it. You can only activate one Dark Magic Fusion per turn. Yeah, that would be amazing, actually. I think that would. It would definitely be better than the Eye of Timaeus, and yeah, a little bit better than Secrets of Dark Magic. I would absolutely love that if we got this. Um, it would be such a big help, sure. Um, I mean, I think it would be slightly better if you could use materials on the field as well, just like Red Eyes Fusion and Neos Fusion. But other than that, that card is still good for what it does, and yeah, it'd be great to get something like that. Two, would you ever consider creating your own card sleeves for any of your decks? I actually had some made for my three favorite decks. The Tablet Dark Magician for my Dark Magician deck, Helios Trismegistus for ones for my Helios deck, and Battle Guard sleeves for my Battle Guard deck. I hadn't thought about that, no. I wouldn't know how to go about creating my own sleeves. If I did, I'd want it to be the same quality as Dragon Shield. Um, yeah, that it just seems better than like Pro Player's Choice and those other sleeves with cards on them. It's a pity that those ones look nice, but they just peel too easily and get damaged after an insane amount of shuffling. Um, then again, I guess that's why people double sleeve these days. Um, but yeah, if I did, then yeah, I would simply create Dark Magician sleeves for my Dark Magician deck. I would have Shining Flare Wingman sleeves for my Elemental Hero deck. Um, and of course, Rainbow Neos sleeves for my Rainbow Neos deck. I think that would be awesome. Um, but I don't know if I'd use those last two for my main deck or extra deck. If you think about it, maybe I could use other sleeves I'd like to see would be Stratos ones for the main deck, and then I'd use the Shining Flare Wingman ones for my uh, Elements of Hero Fusion deck. Um, and maybe for Rainbow Neos, I'd just have Elements of Hero Neos sleeves and use the Rainbow Neos ones for the Rainbow Neos extra deck. That'd be awesome. And the last three questions are from Weber's 5. So, yeah, this is going to be a short episode, unlike last week's one. What do you think of the new Supreme King cards? I think they look really cool, actually. And I guess do help the Supreme King archetype out quite a bit. I was surprised that they're light counterparts. For them, as it is an antagonist archetype, and they're all dark stuff. Um, I mean, the fusion's nice. Shame it does. It still needs some work to build up to, because you still have to either bring out Zoc itself, the original one, and then um, tribute it off for the new fusion. So yeah, it's still a lot of work to build up to, which I'm not a fan of. Shame, really, because Zork is really cool, but it's just so difficult to bring it out quickly. Yeah, as I'm sure you'll agree. Um, but then again, I guess what we've seen is just a sample of what we're getting. I don't know if we'll get a bit more, but we'll see. Two, do you have any decks you'd want to play Harmonic Synchro Fusion in? I'm tempted to try it in Plunder Patrol. The materials won't require to hit Grave. I'd play it in Master of Pendulum. Um, yeah, I knew somebody would ask me that. Um, I'm not really sure, to be honest. Like, there's not really a lot that I could use it in. I mean, maybe I could use it in my Plant Hero deck. Actually, Summon Skull would benefit off it, I think. um, easily. Um, yeah, they're the only ones I can think of, to be honest. It's not really a lot. And the last question. With the new tournament policy of rounds changing to 45 minutes, since there's a bit more time that could spare you from end of match procedure, would you consider trying tournaments again? Um, well, to that I'm still going to say hell no. Um, as, Despite this, I still want nothing more to do with competitive play. Um, I mean, although having an extra 5 minutes is kind of nice, at the same time, knowing my terrible luck, I'll still get fucked over by end of match procedure. Uh, yeah, that's just how it is. Almost every time my games go to time, I always lose through it. And it's so annoying. Um, Plus, the other thing is, it doesn't really stop the other issue that came up recently, where players' demeanors change if there's like 2 or 3 minutes left on the clock, and then they deliberately slow play, um, which yeah, a lot of people complained about and got pissed off with. I mean, I would be too. Like, I think this is cheap, dirty, dishonourable, and disrespectful. Like, I don't know what's worse, this or trying to win with Mystic Bloody Mine. Um, and I have to say, I'm not too keen on the other rule either, where if you block zones, you have to use something with an X or says blocked. I think that's kind of stupid and over the top in my personal opinion. Um, because it's like, well, what if you don't have something with an X or says blocked? I just don't understand what's so wrong with using like either a dice or a field center or just any trading card that's not a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Um, like, I think these are perfectly fine and acceptable, and I really don't see what's so wrong with that. Um, Not that it matters that much to me, but still. Um, but the other thing to remember is that getting cucked by end of match procedure isn't the only thing that's putting me off from playing in tournaments. There are several other reasons why I don't want to play in them anymore. Like, one being decks that do things that stop me from being able to play the game, regardless of whether it's meta or not, along with the fact that nothing gets done about them on the ban list. Which brings me to the other reason: shit ban lists. There's like either decks and cards that should be hit don't get hit, or they don't get hit enough. And even if they do, it doesn't matter because something equally as annoying or even worse always comes along and starts the whole cycle again, which makes the ban list pointless. I mean, I know I already talked about this in my video top 5 reasons why I might quit current format Yu-Gi-Oh! Um, and I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but like still, what's the point in having a ban list if we're always going to have degenerate, unfair cards and decks in the game that only exist just to piss off a large amount of the player base and make them either quit the game or not want to play in tournaments anymore? And it's like, how do you expect anyone to get interested in the game and excited about the game if you get degenerate bullshit? I mean, it's still a game, and games are supposed to be fun, not stopping anyone from playing at all. Um, but yeah, moving on to the other reasons, there's also the fact that I never seem to draw my sided cards when I need them, um, which to me makes having a side deck pointless. I mean, take the winner box tournament from a few weeks back. Um, I, Despite having the means to deal with whatever the opponent had, I didn't draw anything I sided in, and because of that, it just made me lose faith in my side decks. Because what's the point in having one if you just never draw anything you sided in? Then, of course, the one other reason is just players taking the game too seriously in some way or another. Like, getting unnecessarily angry and annoyed when they like just don't do well, or um, like one player in particular who we both know. I'm not going to name any names, of course. Um, like, and then there's just players just um, only caring about winning and nothing else. Like not even just playing for the fun of it, and trying desperately to win with cards and decks that say you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, I know winning is the objective of the game and the whole idea, but still, like some just take it a bit too far, and like I said, just take everything too seriously. Um, just along with the backseat dueling and dual sharking. Um, like, not that that's happened recently, but it can happen. Like, um, just inside and outside of tournament play, regardless of whether it's the opponent or a spectator. Although, if it's a spectator, they shouldn't even be doing this in a tournament game anyway, because that's interference. Um, I don't know. All these things just really bother me too much and just don't make the game any fun. And I'd much rather just play casually. Um, like, I just don't see any reason to go back to playing in tournaments, really. Uh, like, nothing anyone does or says will convince me to come back. Um, I mean, I will still happily give past format tournaments a whirl and speed duels if they start up again, but really don't want to play normal tournaments anymore. Um, so, yeah, next time I get tempted to come back and give them another try, I'm just going to ignore that temptation. Like almost every time I come back to them, I get nothing out of it. Um, sure, I've had my fair share of tournament victories in previous returns, and just really cool moments like trolling Tears with Penguin Knight. Um, but um, but yeah, I can't think of a reason to come back. And the one other reason is too much Dark Magician hate. And by Dark Magician hate, I mean too many banish cards, which is actually something that I forgot to bring up in um, that video, the top 5 reasons why I might quit Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, just too many opponents will just try and banish my Dark Magician with things like Bestials, Kashtira, Mirror Jade, DD Crow, Caught by the Grave, things like that, and I'm sick and tired of it. It's like I still swear opponents only do this just to piss me off. Um, and um, and just like what happened back in January, like every opponent I went up against just outright banished him. Um, I mean, I'm not just questioning what people's beef is with Rainbow Neos, but I'm also questioning what people's beef is with Dark Magician, my favourite card, an Ace Monster. Um, I mean, like I said, I think any sort of Dark Magician and Rainbow Neos hate is just unfair. Like, these monsters did nothing wrong. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it, really. And oh god, it's 21 minutes now. So yeah, this did end up being a long episode after all, although not as long as last week's one. But yeah, that is it for questions in this episode. Thanks a lot for your guys' questions. And of course, if you've got any other questions you want to ask me, post them in the comments section down below. And remember, I do these episodes every Tuesday afternoon or evening, UK time. So be sure to get your questions in before then so that you don't miss out. Thanks again, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Dark Richician YouTube channel.